We're kind of bushwhacking our way through. Still heading west. Opened up a little bit here. A little harder with a pack and stuff on to get through some of these places. Oh, look at this. Nice little game trail that at least leads us downhill. See, Buckley, I already found it. I have Buckley's sleeping pad strapped to the top of my backpack that catches on everything. I figured he might need a pad tonight if it gets really cold. Low spot down here in the bottom. Pretty packed with snow. Maybe I'll keep going about another 20 or 30 minutes and see what I find. This area doesn't look too bad. It's still pretty deep with snow. I'm holding out for a spot that's kind of like this. It's kind of open above. This one has a couple widow makers, but you can get out from underneath them. I'm holding out for a spot that's just like this area, but a little less snow. So it looks like there might be some more spots down there in the next valley. It's a really nice area down in this valley. This is just down over the next ridge. But again, it's all full of snow. Find another deer trail, buddy. This kind of stuff is not the most fun to hike through. At least it doesn't appear to have thorns. Just makes it a little more slow going. Still heading generally west. Crunch, crunch, crunch of the snow. And crackle of all the sticks I'm running into, breaking off. This is the kind of stuff we're hiking in still, making it a bit challenging for finding a camping spot. But we will keep going. We will persevere. Looks like there's a big valley up ahead, so we gotta go down into that and then see where that goes. Still a lot of snow down in this valley. If I was doing some bushcraft sheltering, this wouldn't be a bad spot just to start building some branches up. Staying underneath this. But I'm more civilized than that. I brought a tent. Actually, it's a tent that'll fit both Buckley and myself. I was going to do a hammock. I figured there'd be no place for Buckley and he wouldn't want to lay on the ground, so Broke down and brought the tent for the dog. And I even brought my down parka that I might wear later if I get cold, but it also will double as a nice down blanket for Buckley. Because he's not a husky, he's a lab. He doesn't have super thick fur. I don't want him shivering. We came through all there, came upon this. This looks promising. I think this will be option A. I might drop the pack here and do some scouting. What do you think, Buckley? You want to call this home for the night? For the day and the night? I think this spot's going to have to be maybe the only option. I did some scouting around and didn't see anything else, so this might have to be our only spot that we can safely camp on that is dry, fairly well protected. No widow makers right overhead, so that's good. I think I'm gonna get some lunch. I forgot that I didn't eat lunch since Buckley was being a bit of a D at the lake. I want to show you around our campsite a little bit more. This was the option A again. I think I'm gonna probably put the tent somewhere right in here. There's a little pine tree in the way, but I think I can get around that. Off that way, it's very brushy. Deer and stuff can go through there, but I'm not going that way. This is the trail that we kind of came in on, up that way. And then we did drop our packs. Pretty sure this is where we're going to call it camp, because we were doing some exploring over here. And if you follow along this trail, not too far. It's a tight squeeze for me. I'm gonna have to open that up. But right out here is a water source. I'm actually standing on ice right now that's a little bit soft, so I'm not gonna go any further. But a little bit later, when I need to get more water, this is right next to our camp. How cool is that? A water source literally within, I don't know, 50 feet from the place that we're going to call camp. Yep. Sometimes you just got to keep looking, and other times you get lucky. This time we did a little bit of both, so. And there's the tent. Right in our campsite. We'll try it out. I've never actually used this tent. It's a REI Camp Dome Pacific Crest Trail Edition. The Rainfly has like a signature PCT special edition thing. But it was cheap, so I got it last year to use with Buckley. So we'll see how it works tonight. We've got lots of wood. This is right near camp. I'm going to try out the new Silky Saw. Excel Pro, or whatever the hell it's called. Ultra Excel. See how this bad boy cuts through here. Well, that worked good. Now I gotta keep the dog from helping me. See, he wants to help. He doesn't really realize that this isn't helping. So I'm gonna maybe have to put him on a leash. Try this again. He's on a leash over there. Very nice. It's a Japanese style saw. I've got a couple of these for woodworking stuff at home, but these are super nice. It's a pull saw, so it only cuts on the pull stroke, whereas your normal hacksaw style saw would be more of a push and pull, or a push only. This is a pull only. This thing just tears through dry wood. I hear they tear through green wood too, but green wood doesn't burn, so I'm only going to use it for firewood. Probably have my fire over there. So I'm going to start building a pile, and hopefully the dog doesn't run off with it as I build it. That's why he's over there, leashed up. So I'm going to get back to work. Right there you can see the tree stump. Tree stump. My saw cut it. It was a dead big tree. And now I have an enormous dry log that fell right into where I'm going to have my fire. My fire is going to go right there. That's my log. Have most of the log, or about half the log, cut down right now. I was taking a break, that's why my chair is out. A little bit there. I got some behind me. I think we're going to go for a little bit of a walk. Do some exploring before the sun goes down much more. But yeah, it's starting to look like camp now. Right, Buckley? We got our camp started. I did set my waypoint for the camp here so I can find my way back if I do get off trail somewhere. Buckley! No, that's the firewood. That's some weird tree action right there. I don't know what that is. Oh look, there's a bald eagle flying overhead. There it goes. And it's gone. Huh. Yeah, I was taking a picture of this weird tree, and Mr. Bald Eagle decided to fly overhead. Buckley smells something. I thought I saw a deer up this way. See what we can see once we get up on this ridge. That's the thing about this area. You get up to one ridge and you got a big ravine on the other side. Well, they do have a lot of porcupines up here. I'm not sure if they hibernate or if they're out in the winter or spring. I don't know. I haven't seen any this time, but I have seen them quite a few times in the past. So I want to make sure Buckley doesn't rustle up any porcupines. That's something I don't want to deal with out here either, is having a dog get quills in his face or his nose. I mentioned earlier that there are snow fleas in the snow, but they're not actually fleas, in case you were wondering. Buckley will be fine, and I will be fine. They're actually an insect. They just happen to be very small and are known for extreme jumping abilities, like a flea. So even though they're called sand fleas, they don't actually bite or get into anything. And they're supposed to be good for the environment. Down in the valleys, the sun's starting to go behind the hills. I might loop around and head back up the ridge line on the other side over there and start heading south, and then eventually make our way back to camp. Found this deer trail coming through here, kind of crossed over on it, and it looks like it's pretty well traveled. It's actually got like a ridge cut down into the ground. It's almost like a person trail, but it's not. Here's another, it's like a T-junction you can see right here. One trail goes up that way. The other one goes off that way. It's a lot more brushy that way, so Buckley has the right idea and keep going straight. So we came across this lake down here, or at least it's a flood zone of some sort. Looks like it probably has standing water most of the time. It's a little high around the trees, but I'm not even going to attempt to bring the dog down there. We're just ready to turn and start heading back south and see if we can cut back over to the camp. Start heading back and getting dinner going. A bunch of squirrels yelling at Buckley off in the distance I can hear. Change of plans a little bit. I'm still heading back, but I'm going to attempt to retrace my trail for a little bit because I lost a glove. Can't believe I lost a glove. I have more at the camp, but these are my lightweight, nice gloves that my wife just repaired for me. It would be sad to lose my gloves, or at least one of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but with the light still up, I might be able to. Hopefully I didn't lose it very far ago. I didn't actually even put them on after I left camp. I just put them in my pocket. So they could be anywhere from here all the way back to camp. And I'm not sure how I'm going to find my trail on the way back, since most of it was kind of bushwhacking. I did have my GPS on my phone set for tracking, so I guess I can try to use that to backtrack. Adventure begins, or should I say adventure continues. So with any luck, the next scene that you see will be me with more than one glove. Just when I was about ready to give up, I think I see a glove in the woods. Look at that. Hallelujah. I was able to backtrack and follow my footprints for most of the way. I was about ready to give up because I lost my trail back there. I tried to refer to the GPS track, but that's 50 feet either way. So I was actually up there. I happened to look down here and see something black, so I went back around and felt lucky. So I turned the camera on, and sure enough, which this is about 80% of the way back to camp. So happy, got my gloves back. 2 of them, see? Just to prove that I'm not lying. And I didn't just throw one on the ground. He wasn't any help. I tried to do the whole bloodhound thing by saying, here, Buckley, smell it. Go find Daddy's glove. Nope. Just about back to camp. Thought I'd show you what it looks like coming from this way. You kind of start seeing the tent right there. Buckley's already there. So we are back. Aren't we, Buckley? You got your spot next to my chair already? It's about dinner time for Buckley too. So, gonna get him his food. Yeah, you want your food? Get things going. I didn't film the cooking just because I had to keep the dog away, but trying out the new MSR wind burner, I think is what it's called. Made some couscous and some Tapatio tuna creations. And I repackage everything into Ziplocs, that way I can use that as a trash bag to pack everything out. And I've got my tom yum soup for tomorrow for lunch and some oatmeal for breakfast. There's the last bit of sun. About another 5 minutes left. Buckley's found his spot to lay down for a minute. Got the beginnings of a fire on my kindling pile. Decided I'd face this direction towards the sun, so it's a beautiful evening. I just hope Buckley doesn't get too cold. He's kind of curled up in a tiny little ball right now. We'll see if the fire provides any heat. Because if he starts shivering too badly, I might have to pack up and try to get out of here in the dark. Which, it's about 2.5 miles, I think, back to the car, so I don't really want to have to hike back in the dark. I got my fire started with no help from Buckley. As it was going, he went in there and grabbed a stick off of the fire, knocked the whole thing over. Backpacking with a dog is very challenging. That stuff went off like crazy. And build up a little bed of coals so I can throw those logs on. Now we've got a little bit of a rager. And there you have a winter fire. Throwing off some heat. A nice bed of coals down there now. It's getting towards the end of daylight. Buckley's already ready for bed over there. I'm not sure if we're going to have any visitors tonight or not. All the deer runs through here, I would imagine we'll at least hear them. Hopefully Buckley does okay with the sounds of the forest. And with that, it is about 1 o'clock in the morning. Buckley was shivering and shaking so bad I said screw it. So packed her all up. No more campsite. And we're going to try to get ourselves back to the van. Well, at least we tried. And we'll have to try it again when it's not so cold. It is very cold. It's probably about 22, 23 degrees right now. So I'm ready to start moving back to the car. Well, we found the main trail. That's some mighty hard bushwhacking. Good thing I had the GPS to at least give me a reference point to head back to. There's a lot of brush, a lot of snow, but we made it. About another couple miles back to the car now on the main trail. You can see Buckley up there shining away. His backpack has reflectors on it. Makes it nice to spot him. Especially because he's a big brown dog and you can't see him once the light goes out. And we made it back to the van. It's about 2:30 in the morning. It's definitely the furthest I've ever hiked in the middle of the night. But got the old backpack. Put down a towel for Buckley to make him all comfy. He's gonna be so comfy on the ride home, aren't you, buddy? Let the van heat up. Got a lot of ice on the windows I gotta defrost. Here, bud. So yeah. Not sure how this ending is gonna turn out. I guess this is it. Just gonna drive home in the dark. Nothing much more to see there. Well, thanks for hanging out. We'll have to try it again sometime. Maybe when it's not so cold. Maybe when Buckley has a little more experience not pulling sticks out of the fire while they're still on fire. Well, have a good night. I'm gonna go home and crawl into my warm bed. Till next time. See ya.